Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. I hope you're hype, because I'm sure hype. Ciabatta's hype. Aren't you, Ciabatta? Tell the people that you're hype. She's like, I'm friggin' trying to take a nap. Yay, Riley! I hope you finished FNAF's video before you came over here. Also, rare Zeke sighting, but he's here in my lap today. Feeling very dweepy. So hello, Zeke. He's kind of just a fuzzball, isn't he? Can't make out a whole lot of details there, but he's there, I swear. Let's say hi to some people. Hello, what the what? I think your comment is hilarious. I laughed out loud when I first read it. Hello, Cinnabitten, Lucas. Hello, Toxic, Funny Caddy, Lila, Perishing Purple Pulsar, Riley, Freddy Fazboy, Evan Wants Jam. I think that's everybody who's chatted. What are we talking about? You're probably... Fair enough. Fair enough, Freddy. That's totally fine. Oh, mending some clothes. Finished a lot of scenes for the project you've been working on. Awesome. Doing work right now. Eagerly listening in the background. That's so fair. Toast is also up here now, so I guess I have a whole party on my hands. I guess it really is a watch party. Toxic, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Okay. We've been talking about doing a lore discussion video. And what I think this is a great way to kind of contain our thoughts, because otherwise we're just going to be, you know what I mean? Rapid firing. Are you serious? What the what? Gibi shouted me out? Oh my god, no, I haven't seen it. Which video? Gibi, I've been watching his videos, or their videos. I don't know pronouns of everybody all the time. Oh, 3 hours ago. Okay, that's why. If it was a 3 hour ago video, then I understand why I didn't see it. That's so exciting. Oh my gosh, I have to watch that after this then. I can't believe I got a shout out. Ah! That makes me so happy. If you're not subscribed to Gibi's Horror Homestead, go subscribe, okay? Go subscribe. Why now? Zeke, a kind of bread. Okay, what the what? Funny story about Zeke's name. So his name is technically Ezekiel, right? Ezekiel. And we shorten it to Zeke because it's easier to train a dog when they have like a, you know, like yelling out Ezekiel. He is cute. He's a miniature schnauzer. So my partner named Zeke, not me, because this was my gift to my partner. We discussed it before. I didn't just surprise them with a dog, but Gibi's Horror Homestead. I'll pull it up before. I'll pull up. I'll show you who Gibi is before we start the video. But anyway, we named him Ezekiel. My partner named him Ezekiel without trying to name him after a bread. I was like, are you gonna name him after a bread? And my partner was like, I don't know about all that. And I was like, it's okay because it's his pet, not mine. You know what I mean? Exactly what the what. All very good channels to subscribe to. And anyway, all that being said, later on down the line, one of my friends was visiting and meeting Zeke for the first time and was like, so did you name Zeke after the bread? And I was like, what do you mean did I name Zeke after the bread? Thank you, Toby, for subscribing. And she was like, Ezekiel bread. And I was like, you're so joking. There's a thing called Ezekiel bread? And she was like, yeah, there's a thing called Ezekiel bread. Have you never heard of it? And she showed me a picture of it. So technically, at the end of the day, there is a bread called Ezekiel bread. If you don't believe me, look it up. I have some in my freezer right now. Yeah. There's straight up Ezekiel bread. And so he is kind of named after a bread. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot tell my partner this or he's gonna freak out. He's gonna freak out. Oh man. Yeah, Gibby's doing what I'm doing with Tales with the Frights books. So seriously, watch them. There's a bread for every word, to be honest. So true. But yo, do you see how cuddly and clingy he's being today? He's everything. You are so cute, Angel. He is the best little boy in the world. You've never met a more well-behaved dog than this one. The worst thing he does is get nervous and pee. That is your he also eats food if you leave it out, but that's our fault. Like if I leave food out, can't really get mad at him. Okay. So let me show you Gibby's Horror Homestead so you guys know who to subscribe to, and then we'll react to the video. So there we go. You see it on screen. Oh my gosh, I'm not even subscribed. I'm an idiot. I'm telling everybody to subscribe and I'm not. Does anybody else have people in there, like that are in their recommendeds all the time to the point where you genuinely think you're subscribed? Like I did the same thing with Walton Files. I thought I was subscribed to Walton Files because I always get their videos and recommended. But I wasn't even subscribed. Bread lore. Bread is like the food with the most variety in history. Every culture has bread varieties. Exactly. That's why it's a very good naming convention. I'll never run out. But finna sub now. Yeah. Well, it's all sub to Gimmy's Horror Homestead. The algorithm subs. Exactly what the what. It's like I really think that twisted dinner rolls? Yummy. Okay, sorry. I have cat hair all over my face right now. I know you can't see it, but I feel it. I feel like I have like a mild cat allergy or something sometimes because it itches me in such a serious way. You just finished it and John blew all my expectations out of the water. Did you, if you guys seen the trailer for this, it looks so good. I am like that's what when I mean, like I'm in my description for this video, it says I'm so proud of John because it's so clear this was a passion project that he's worked so hard on. And I'm just like, oh, I love it so much. But yes, welcome in Clavis, welcome in Just BKZ, and Solar. That is a cool name. Okay, so we've all made it very clear that we need to subscribe to Gibby's Horror Homestead and watch. I also love This Means Nothing. I haven't watched it yet. This has been coming up in my algorithm, and I'm like, I need to watch that video. But anyway, very good stuff. But we are talking about John FNAF right now. And if you haven't subscribed to John FNAF's channel, please do. He's like one of the biggest reasons that I wanted to become a FNAF theorist. Like, I guess I should say, okay, Rytoast and ID's Fantasy and Not Real Name Not At All, those people made me feel like, wow, I could really do this. You know what I mean? Because, like, Not Real Name Not At All does everything they do with just, like, pictures, really. Like, they don't show a whole lot of, like, gameplay footage and they don't show their face or anything. You know, they don't have, like, a little PNG person. They just, you know, put their videos out there and I'm, like, enthralled by them. So it's like, anybody can do this. Like, or you can do this in a million different ways. Like, you don't have to follow a specific formula. And Rytoast was super influential to me because they're such like a... They're so like... I don't know how to phrase what it is about Rytoast that like just really gets me engaged in their videos. But it's like they really take it like a job kind of energy and like are on it all the time. Like the motivation kind of thing. Like, oh my gosh, like the workhorse mentality of Rye is so inspiring to me because like it's like, oh, even though they have, you know, they have a family that they have to juggle and everything else, and they're like there and they're supporting their family and all this other stuff. I was like, it doesn't matter if I have a job, I can do this. So I was like, I can do this even though I have a job. They made me realize that I had the time to do it. And ID's Fantasy, just like, honestly, this is gonna sound crazy, but ID's Fantasy is the one who made me go like, okay, it doesn't matter that I haven't played the games very much. So yeah, I don't know. Did you get a Wrapped for YouTube? Hello, Gaming Tinker. Welcome in. Okay. Anyway. I've gone on long enough. It looks like Chibata is here to say we are spoiled. We are spoiled. Everybody's cooking. Okay. Anyway, we'll get to it now. Let me make sure captions are turned on. They're auto-generated. Just know that they're auto-generated. Character edge style. What the heck are you talking about? You can make the text depressed? I don't want to do that. Okay. Anyway. Okay, we should be good. Proportional sans serif. You can make it cursive? When did all this happen? Okay, anyway, whatever. Proportional sans serif is gonna be best, I would say. Back then, not playing the FNAF games was something to ridicule. Now it's just Tuesday. Exactly. Oh my gosh, Cinnabit, that's so cool. Oh my goodness, that's so surreal. I haven't gotten a freaking YouTube Wrapped. Show me my YouTube Wrapped, YouTube. Okay, please let me know if anything is too loud or too quiet. And we're gonna get into this.
She can dance. She can sing.
All back. All of them.
Okay, well, we'll ignore all that.
In one place.
Five Nights at Freddy's is a franchise with over a decade's worth of content, spanning countless games, books, and now a movie. There's a reason that no matter whose timeline you watch, they all look different. Making a FNAF timeline is not easy. There are so many ways you can interpret this story, and this is mine. So let's start at the beginning. Back in the 70s, a company called...
Okay, tell me that this 3D modeling is not so impressive. Look at everything they have done. Did they make this whole room? John, did you make this whole room? This isn't a picture that I would think. So good to hear those voices again. So true. Okay, I am gonna turn the volume down just so we can look at it. Just look at how beautiful this all is. Hello, Hocus and Clink King Plasma. We got look at that's beautiful. He made this. Maybe not. I mean, that's so impressive. The lighting. Come on. 75% size, you got it. We so can. You have no idea how much we can. Okay. You guys let me know if that's too small. I also tried to put it in the middle, and I don't know how it got off. I don't know why it looks like this. I don't know how else to explain it, but I don't know why the heck it looks like that. Just BKC! You did not! Hold on. Oh. Shoot. Let me go to normal chatting. I don't have my flow chat alert on. Whew. I got there quickly. I missed one. I missed Fable Rain. I forgot to have my flow chat thingy turned on. 100 buckaroonies. Thank you so much, just BKZ. We were just talking about in the past week or so about how most of my channel memberships are gifted subs, and most of my gifted subs are from just BKZ and Bonafide. And then Liberal Animator has gifted subs, and Nolan has gifted subs. Somebody else, I can't even remember their name right now. We has a bunch of members now. Welcome in, official Jokey Mobs. We're gonna do this so it doesn't play over the video, but the artwork of it all is so gorgeous. I don't know. I'm just so proud. every single FNAF theorist has like 3 other talents that they do like outside. I'm always zoomed out when someone gifts. Oh my gosh. Nice gaming. Ugh. This is so fun. I love this. So, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Like ID's Fantasy is an artist, and like, I mean, like the Oof Troop's whole thing is that they can also do art and things like that. Official, really you haven't, because I paused the video like immediately because I wanted to appreciate all of FNAF's art, and then we got gift subs, so I'm waiting for all those to go by. How close are we? Not to be a poopy head. I want everybody to get their moment. I want everybody to have their moment. Oh, that was it. Oh, no. 2 more. 2 more. 2 more. 2 more. Come on. Alexis and Golden Productions. Oh my goodness, I have so much cat hair in my face, man. Why my cat's gotta be like this? Oh, Geeter, thank you. Okay, I was looking for what do you call them? Okay, here are the animators. I was looking for the credits when everything went crazy. Okay, let me make sure I have the 3D animations, or the 3D animations. Oh my gosh. Let me make sure that I have the flow alerts on over here. Okay, let's look at the credits. Let's look at the credits to credit all these wonderful animators. Very good point, official. Okay. So here are all the animators who are responsible for all the beautiful stuff we're seeing. So sorry that I said that FNAF did it. I just know that they have. He has done 3D modeling and stuff. Okay. Evelieve, John Lanty, Beige or Beige, E. Breddy, In the Shadows, Jason 3D, The Hottest Dog. Somebody shouted them out earlier. ML Spence, Dirt Me, Ben L007, and TKSFM. Then 2D artists were Snartles and Barbadroid. There's original music in here by AP Angry Piggy and D Huesta. And James P Official, oh my gosh, why am I saying James? Games P Official and Jason 3D did the character renders. Oh, and model and map credits, Jackie Model and Box by Meow Master. Fredbear model by Eggboy SFM. Modeled by Thudner, Eggboy, Hector. Oh my gosh, we're just reading all the stinking... Okay, there's a lot. Look, there's a lot. Okay? Look at all this mess. It's beautiful. Way to go, everybody. You were all #1. Look at this. Look at all the people who came together. Look at all the people who came together for this. That is so exciting. Okay, we've gone through all the credits now. I know I didn't read everybody out. Sorry about it, but, I mean, I was getting to the point where I was realizing how big of an undertaking that was going to be. Breckie finished. Nice. Defrosting your hands. Okay. I got an ad. It's okay. I was reading the credits. Okay. Let's actually watch this stinking video now, eh? Ooh, exciting funny catty. All right.
At the beginning.
Starting at the beginning, the
Back
70s.
in the 70s, a company called Fazbear Entertainment got its start by creating different props and mascot costumes for carnivals.
Oh
and
no, why am I having buffering issues? We had it paused forever. Why are we having buffering issues? Okay, let me go back. Why are we having buffering issues? What's going on?
Got its start by creating different props and mascot costumes for carnivals, and specifically for something called the Fall Fest. The Fall Fest featured various mascot characters.
What is happening? I am plugged in to Ethernet And I have high-speed internet. What is this mess? Okay, I'm refreshing the page. Can't live like this. What in the world?
Get ready for a surprise.
Alright, we're starting over again, apparently.
She can sing.
All back.
Why am I getting lagged?
In one place.
Five Nights at Freddy's is a franchise with over a
you see
decade's worth
this?
of content, spanning countless games, books, and now a movie. There's a
is
reason
happening?
that no matter whose timeline you
buffer,
watch,
indeed.
they all look different. Making a FNAF timeline is not easy. There are so many ways you can interpret this story,
Clavis.
and this is mine. So let's start at the beginning.
Okay, it seems like it's leveled out now.
Back in the 70s, a company called Fazbear Entertainment got its...
Oh my gosh, it's doing it again. What is going on? This is going to actually P me O. I am going to be PO'd. What is going on? Is it because I don't have it at 1440 or something? Jeez, like, it's like you don't get to watch it unless you watch it in the highest of definitions. Okay. Letting it buffer. Can we get past the 30-second mark? You turned it down to 420? I don't know about all that. I'll put it to... No, I don't want it to not be in high definition. That'll make me sad. I don't want it to buffer.
Start by creating different props and mascot costumes for carnivals,
see if
and
it
specifically
levels out.
for something called the Fall Fest. The Fall Fest featured various mascot
gonna see if it
characters
levels out.
such as a
I'm gonna
bird,
give it a
an
minute to level
elephant,
out.
and the most popular of all, Fredbear and Bonnie. These specific mascot costumes were so popular, Fazbear Entertainment opened a dedicated restaurant for them called Fredbear's Family Diner, featuring
Yes.
the same Fredbear and Bonnie mascot costumes from the Fall Fest. What
That's gorgeous. Okay, so as far as we okay, I guess we kind of know this, but John is officially saying like, okay, the way that Glitch Trap looks, the Glitch Trap. Oh, Riley, thank you for saying. Hi, Just a Theorist. 144B gang. Okay, hi, Bolton D. That this is the first iteration of Springtrap, like this, or Spring Bonnie, if you will. Like this is the OG.
Entertainment
Because there's a part of me that's like wondered if like this is sort of a representation of Spring Bonnie in the future, trying to like give a nostalgic feel to the original parts of the franchise. But anyway, neither here nor there. Oh, it's better to pick a fixed graphical level. Okay, well, we'll see. If it doesn't level out, then I'll do it. If it doesn't level out. Hey! How is pausing it making it, like, buffer more?
didn't account for, though, was one of their animatronics from the Fall Fest going rogue, ending in a giant fire, with most of everything from the Fall Fest being destroyed.
So, oh, interesting. Yes, Rose. I think that's what FNAF is trying to say. Okay. I'll just put it on 1080. Oops, I turned the captions off. I fixed it. Captions are back on. And we will give it 1080. Okay. That was a baller animation. I will have to agree. So, okay. So, John here seems to be saying Jackie is the one who went rogue at that Fall Fest and started the fire in some way. Seemingly. Because here, in this shot, we have Jackie's box over here, but Jackie is over here. So suggesting that she escaped and went rogue and somehow started this fire. I don't know if that's how I believe the fire started. I'm kind of the mind that it was very similar to the way we see it in Help 1 and 2. It was a chain of events that potentially was inconsequential at first, but kind of led. That's okay, sit a bit, and you go get some rest. This will be here later. Don't you worry. I hope that makes sense, but yeah, like I've always thought it was very similar to the way that it's shown in. Oh, but Indy, you're so right about that. It does explain him being burnt. But yeah, anyway. Maybe the Mimic was there and they didn't know that the Mimic was there during the Fall Fest. Maybe they didn't know the Mimic was there and it came out and went rogue. I don't know. I like the idea. I really do like the idea that the Mimic was like maybe hiding in the Jackie suit and didn't know and maybe got triggered or something at the Fall Fest. It's a thought. It's a thought. Oh! Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. Oh my god. John, you've outdone yourself. Wow.
The specifics about the animatronic that went rogue and the fire are unknown and will likely be revealed next year in FNAF's next big release. Although we don't know much about how this fire occurred, we do know that after the fire, Fazbear Entertainment started phasing out of the mascot costume era. They needed something new. The two men who helped found Fazbear Entertainment, William Afton and Henry Emily, stepped up to the plate. William Afton was mostly the businessman of the two, handling all of the money, while Henry was the—
Hang on. You think Dreadbear was still an accomplice to the Fall Fest fire due to him walking into the Help 1 and 1 barn and the carousel burning from a fire starting at the barn and Fazbear Blast burning as well? Interesting thought, Bolt, because I wouldn't have even thought that Dreadbear was at the fire Fall Fest. I would have thought that Dreadbear would have been introduced at the 1983 Fall Festival. Well, okay, is the 1983 Fall Festival the one where it happened, or was it the one in the 70s? Because I was under the impression that the fire happened in the 70s. Rose, so true. I don't know, that's an interesting thought. Like, oh my goodness. Okay, because, my thought was that Dreadbear was kind of a game or a reference to what happened at the FNAF stuff and not a bear that was like actually at the original Fall Fest. Like it was at the like revival of the Fall Fest, not the originals, to like make a joke about like, you know, the rumors of things that had happened at Five Nights at Freddy's. We need a new render. I would agree. We need more imagery of these characters. I'm really hoping Secret of the Mimic shows them. All right. I like where your head is at though, Bolt. You think Dreadbear would be at Fall Fest? More of a Halloween attraction? Oh, fair enough.
The more creative one, with him being in charge of building most of the animatronics and props for the company. With the Fall Fest era of the company coming to a close, they were only left with Fredbear's Family Diner, the standalone restaurant created for the Fredbear and Bonnie characters.
I like that 2D art. That is cute. Like, no offense to Scott and everybody else who was doing stuff, but whoever did these renders specifically, like the original Fredbear Family Diners posters, the stuff that we've been introduced to more recently, that is peak to me. That is so quintessential, like late 70s, early 80s. Like that is the vibes. That's like early Chuck E. Cheese days energy. Like it is it. Freddy and Friends on Tour style. Exactly. Like that. That's like that is my FNAF right there. Bonnie is so smug. I love it. So true. So true. Hanna-Barbera, yes, 100. Oh my god. Okay, anyway, sorry, I just had to. And the way they put a little hat on top of the sign, I'm crying. Ridiculous. Yes, Funny Catty, that is fine.
In order to replace the mascot versions of Fredbear and Bonnie, Henry went to work on new versions of the characters, eventually creating the new Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. The same characters, but with new designs and new suits. Henry called them Springlock suits. These suits are
I have grabbed the subtitles and moved them. You haven't seen me doing it? You haven't seen me doing that? Okay. So, Fazbear Entertainment Springlock suit training tape. I have to go back. Hang on.
Eventually creating.
So this is the render of Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. Fredbear just looks a little dark to me. Hi, Claudia. Welcome in. Hi, Rolf. Freddy Bear's logo is designed by Barbadroid. Oh, neat. Well, Barbadroid, you've outdone yourself. I love him. I just feel like, is there a reason that, like, Fredbear looks so dark? I don't know. Anyway, they are gorgeous. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, because it's all scare actors? Oh, Attacking Lizard, that would be so crazy. All right.
The new Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. The same characters, but with new designs and new suits. Henry called them Springlock suits.
Hi,
These suits are able to double as both an animatronic and a suit that the employees could wear. To switch the suit from animatronic mode to suit mode, the employees could use a hand crank to pull back the animatronic parts, leaving room for them to climb inside. The Springlocks that were helping to hold back those animatronic parts were very sensitive though.
Showing how someone would get inside.
The Springlocks could potentially snap shut, crushing and killing whoever was inside. But if that ended up happening, Fazbear Entertainment had some common sense procedures set in place.
In the case that the spring locks come loose while you are wearing a suit, please try to maneuver away from populated areas before bleeding out, as to not ruin the customer experience.
Fredbear's Family Diner ended up being super successful for William and Henry, so much so that other companies tried replicating it. Another company
wait, hold on. Look at this model. Oh, they're making it look like it does in FNAF 4. Golly, they have done such a good job. I love it so much. I really like this characterization of this very colorful era of FNAF. Wow.
So much so that other companies tried replicating it. Another company proceeded to rip off Fazbear Entertainment's old mascot characters by creating their own animatronic versions of them. The leader of the group was Nedbear, a direct copy of Fredbear, followed by a hippo, an elephant, and a frog. All characters from the Fall Fest, and all with slightly different designs to avoid copyright issues. But while the rival company was able to replicate the designs, they could not replicate Henry's state-of-the-art technology.
So, this is interesting. So, FNAF is saying that the Mediocre Melodies were created by a completely different company that had nothing to do with... Hi, Skyo. Welcome in. Wait, where's Pigpatch? Yeah, right? Pigpatch erasure. I won't stand for this. The idea that the Mediocre Melodies were made... like, after the success of Fredbear's Family Diner, not because Henry was a part of another company or William was a part of another company, but because somebody who saw Fall Fest made them. Toxic, what a world. The furtive Pigpatch, so easily forgotten. I don't know about this. Like, the idea of there being an offshoot to FNAF, it feels more likely that they would have... I would have thought that the FNAF 6 animatronics were of another diner. Third party tried to catch the cloud. Yeah, but, like, why would they... Oh my gosh. How would they get away with using designs from Fall Fest is I guess what I'm trying to say. So interesting that that would be like a completely separate company that we just don't get any information about. I kind of prefer MatPat's telling of events where the Mediocre Melodies are something that Henry made like more early on. Yes. Yes, Toasty, exactly. Like that was kind of like my thought process. Or something Henry made before Fredbear's. Okay, because well, the encyclopedia does say like Ned Bear seems to be like a knockoff, so I can see where that's getting a little confused. But they still call him Mr. Hippo. And I think he's called Mr. Hippo the whole time. Yeah, Clavis. I think that's where I'm at. It would be odd to make them if the company who copied are unknown and irrelevant. Yeah. Okay, bye, Lucas. Thank you so much for joining us. Can see how them being poorly built alluded to them not being Henry's. That's fair, Rose. That's very fair. That's why I thought that would be like early designs of Henry's that like found their way into the Fall Fest and stuff, but never really took hold. I don't know. I only say this because I've been thinking about Mr. Hippo a lot lately and like his connections to everything because he keeps showing up. And then they made Mystic Hippo. Like he just keeps showing up. Oh, thank you, Perishing Purple Pulsar. Okay, I'll concede that it's a possibility. It's plausible. The IP of Mr. Hippo is subsumed into the Freddy's brand as seen as security beach. Yes. So fair, Claudia. So fair. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll concede that it's very plausible, but there's a little part of me that's a little about that specific point. But I concede. I concede.
Their robots were poorly made and had to have giant batteries with exposed wires on stage with them.
The hippo
Naturally,
behind the
rival
slaughter.
company
Shut
failed
up.
and ended up being
love
bought
that.
out by Fazbear Entertainment.
Right.
With all of the success from Fredbear's Family Diner, William and Henry decided to branch out and create more characters for a new restaurant. In 1983, William and Henry opened Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, featuring Freddy Fazbear, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. With the opening of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, Fazbear Entertainment was experiencing success like they've never seen before. But with two restaurants now open at the same time, more success also meant more work for William and Henry. The duo were so wrapped up in work that they started neglecting their own families. William was the father of 3 kids, the eldest, Michael, the crying child, and Elizabeth. The crying child has yet to have a 100% confirmed name, so for this video, he will just be called the crying child. Meanwhile,
Henry... give him a name. Give him a name. Give him a name. Call him Dave. Don't be a coward. I'm kidding. It's okay. You can call him whatever you want. Index, that's fair. I'm not against that. Okay, Rolf, if Tiger is an Elvix fanatic, what if the Mimic was a Jigsaw fan fanatic? That's funny. Okay, tell me that you guys, if you don't know about this, as soon as I heard about Tiger Rock, I was also doing a lot of research about animatronic history in general at the time. And there is a lion animatronic that existed that was like 9 feet tall that was popular at, he was introduced, I think, for Showbiz Pizza. And freaking was Elvis themed. I'm not even making this up. I'm gonna Elvis. Look at this. The king from Showbiz Pizza. Look at this. Tell me they didn't. Tell me Tiger Rock is not just this guy. Tell me he's not. And I'll call you a liar. He's huge. This is Tiger Rock, friends. I swear that freaking Stillwell Studios or Scott saw this guy and were like, we gotta get this guy into Pizzaplex. we gotta get this guy in the Pizzaplex. Yes, Claviskey. Like, I'm so sure yeah, it's like, it doesn't surprise me all the other people have already said it, but like, I had to throw it out there. I had to throw it out there. Okay. All right, we're back. We're so back. I just had to show you guys that. If you hadn't seen it, you had to see it. You know what I'm saying? Ah, okay.
Had one kid, a daughter named Charlie. The business partners spent most of their days
His
working,
toes look like
so they both
eyes.
created different ways of taking care of their kids. Henry was the robotics genius,
different ways
so
of
he used
taking
his
care of their
talents to
kids.
create a new animatronic to watch Charlie for him. It was called the security puppet. This animatronic would sit by the door of Freddy.
And like, does that not just sound like the Mimic? Man, I ain't calling you a truther. Like, it's so, I don't know how to, like, the connections between the puppet and Charlie are so similar to the connections between the Mimic and David. The puppet being made before the bite of 83. Yeah. I feel like John has talked about this before, where he's like, you don't have to have had an emergency to have taken maybe this wasn't John, maybe this was somebody else. I know there was like a theorist that was like talking about how there's no reason to assume that the puppet was made after crying child's death, because why wouldn't you just take security measures on the front end? But Henry was very specific, like in this telling, Henry is very specifically making the puppet to make sure Charlie is okay and not necessarily for everybody else. Jackie is basically if the puppet and Circus Baby did a fusion dance. Yes, I think that's so true. Henry and William are bad parents. I'll have to agree. I'd have to agree. Just be a babysitting machine. Yeah. And like, this is literally and everybody else, this is literally what I was talking about. It's so funny that he's saying this, because this is literally what I was talking about in my video last week, where I was kind of just yapping about the Mimic. I will straight up, I swear to you, I say like almost exactly this, where I'm like, I like the idea that Henry made the puppet to watch over Charlie the way that the Mimic was made to watch over David, and then it like ultimately kind of ended up not being able to stop her from getting hurt, and her death is related to a car, just like David's death is related to a car. It's like, you know what I mean? I don't know why the security puppet would even be made after the bite. The bite happened inside the building, while the security puppet is made to stop Charlie from going outside. So true. That's why you don't believe Charlie and Henry are real. They are game characters based on a true story of David and his father. See, like, and Spiral, what you're saying makes sense, and I hate that. Like, no offense. Like, I don't hate you, obviously. But, like, no offense to Stillwell and everybody else, but if, like, they're retconning Henry and Charlie, oh my gosh. I don't get everyone trying to humanize William. I feel like William was always not right, even before one of his children died. Agree, Gaming Tinker. I have a whole video about that, called The Myth of the Grieving Father. Lots of parallels. Exactly, Rose. And so I'm just like, there's still like this teeny tiny chance that the games are not going to go the route of being Tales games, but if they are, I'm sorry, there's a piece of somebody's car in the road outside. I don't think it's in the way. I'm like, do I have to go out there and move a piece of car in the road? How did that even happen? I didn't hear like a... If they retcon Henry and Charlie, we riot. I think that's right. I think the game is its own canon and universe. I would, like, Rose, I don't know if you've seen, like, the newer updates, but theoretically, I should say theoretically. There's a lot of theorizing now based on the evidence we got in the Help Wanted 2 update that they are connected, and at least the Mimic storyline is connected. I feel like there's an in-universe timeline and a game timeline within the universe. Interesting. Yes, Darnak. William cares about his reputation. I see the parallels too, and that's why it feels redundant if the books are in the game timeline. Claudia, I so agree. Like, it makes me so... Hello, I'd like to reach you about your car's extended warranty. William, probably to the MCI. That's funny. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm just getting to this point where I'm really worried about the franchise and like my appreciation of it, my enjoyment of it. But we'll see. But there's so many parallels. I do really like this where John is going though. I like the idea that Henry very specifically built the puppet for Charlie, and it wasn't just a run-of-the-mill security puppet. And potentially, there's other puppets, but you know, there's this very specific one that's connected to Charlie. Tagged in a tweet, but was watching SVU and they pointed out the tail fin cars stopped being made in the 1960s. I wonder if William may have been the runaway in Midnight Motorist. Oh, just BKZ. Have you seen my video on B7? Oh, that is actually kind of brilliant. Oh, like that's his dad. And William had this dark past that made him grow up kind of twisted. If you guys haven't seen my video about B7, yo, okay, so like, I think what Just BKZ is, oh, of course you did. Just BKZ is like saying like in Midnight Motorist, that is a picture from, that is from William's childhood, and William is the runaway. Trans William B7. Oh, Hocus. I like that, Just BKZ. Oh, I do like that. Because I did think about that when I was like thinking about B7, because like the mom is kind of apathetic, but like, well, like the mom like cares, but she doesn't really get in the way very much of like what's going on with William. The only thing that doesn't make sense is like, then who is the only thing that doesn't make sense in that is like, who is the like animatronic that's coming to like to William's window. That's not perfectly making sense, but that's fun. I like that. But Claudia, I saw your comment about like the lore is just getting too convoluted. I have to agree with you on a level. Okay. We gotta get back to this. We are 5 minutes in, and we've been streaming for quite a while. No, Spiral, you'll never be my enemy number one. I'll accept the truth as it exists. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be a denier of like actual facts, but and compelling evidence. So anyway, all that being said, we're having fun. Okay.
Fazbear's pizza and make sure that Charlie wasn't able to leave the building. This made it so Charlie could play at the restaurant while Henry worked, without Henry having to worry about her leaving the building or getting kidnapped. The robot was linked directly to a green bracelet that Charlie was wearing. If Charlie, wearing the green bracelet, tried leaving the building, the security puppet would spring into action. William, on the other hand, was the businessman of the company.
The only thing that doesn't make sense about that is because he's saying that the puppet springs into action when she leaves the building or tries to leave the building, but she's definitely already outside, and it seems more like she's not been allowed in. Not that, like, she just happened to go outside. She would have to have been lured outside in that case, I feel like. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But again, very similar to the story with Edwin.
He cared more about making money, but also saving money. Naturally, he decided to just force his eldest son Michael to babysit while he was at work. Michael was mostly in charge of babysitting the crying child. The crying child didn't have many friends, but he did have a close relationship with his plushies. These plushies were of characters from his favorite show, Fredbear and Friends, Fazbear Entertainment's newest cartoon, featuring
What? Okay, fair enough.
Fredbear, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. The crying child's favorite character, though, was Fredbear. He especially loved his Fredbear plushie. Although he loved the plushie version of the characters, the animatronics would soon become a different story. One day, while visiting Fredbear's family diner, the crying child saw something that would scar him for the rest of his life. While wandering the restaurant, he walked by the employees' only room, where an employee accidentally left the door open. Inside the room was his father, William Afton, helping another employee into a spring Bonnie suit. But through
Okay. I know what he's about to say, so I feel like it's okay to pause here. I really do like the idea, and I've had this thought before, because I've been reading all these books and just paying attention to the names of the books and things like that. And my thing has been like, yeah, King, that's fair. But it seems like she's already been outside for a minute when the puppet shows up. That's kind of what I mean. I do really like the idea of the initial idea of crying child's fears manifesting in a non-threatening way. Because we see this a lot in Five Nights at Freddy's stories, where the name of a story will be blank phobia. Sorry. Something phobia. And, oh, that's funny, Hocus. And it's always like, oh, this character developed a phobia from something that, you know, fair enough, traumatizing to a point, but wasn't like life-threatening or crazy or something like that. Like, very specifically in, golly, I cannot remember the name of the Ballora story from Tales. That phobia story. I can't remember the name of the phobia right now. But it's the phobia of being, like, trapped in a tight space or whatever. He gets that because he was locked in a closet as a kid. And I even make a connection to the crying child in that story. Clethrophobia. Where, like, these people have these fears that, you know, anyway, it doesn't matter. So the idea that crying child also developed a phobia at an early age, and then that ended up being his downfall. It's clethrophobia. By the time it catches up, everyone's gonna be like, oh, sorry. But anyway, anyway, I made that connection very specifically with clethrophobia, but like there's so many other times where it's pointing out the idea of phobias to us. And I'm like, oh, it does make sense that crying child just has like a general phobia of the animatronics because he thinks that they ate people, and then they freaking did. You know what I mean? Like it's so exactly the way clethrophobia plays out, where he's scared of this thing, but then he has to face the fear. I mean, in kind of a different way, but yeah. Yapping-a-phobia? Rude, Rolf. Meanie. Spider-Mom phobia. Exactly. Oh, true, Bolton D, yeah.
Through the eyes of the crying child, this looked like someone was literally being stuffed into an animatronic suit.
But
the crying child was
and,
so
like,
young that he wasn't educated
happening
on how the mascot characters worked. So seeing a human be put inside of one terrified him.
Mm-hmm.
When a child experiences something traumatic, their brain naturally tries finding ways to deal with that trauma. The crying child's way of dealing with his trauma was by creating an imaginary friend. This imaginary friend took the form form of the object he loved the most, his Fredbear plushie. His new imaginary friend Fredbear followed him wherever he went, shape-shifting into flowers, hiding behind cars and in the sewers, with nobody being able to see him except for the crying child. When the crying child was overwhelmed, the plushie would talk to him and try to calm him down.
But
Even
it's really
when the
just
plushie
his
wasn't
own
around,
voice.
it was still able to speak to him because it lived in his mind.
Yes.
While the crying child was dealing with the trauma of seeing what he thinks was someone being stuffed into a suit,
I
his
like
brother
that.
Michael was only
I
making
think I'm
it
okay
worse.
with that.
Michael knew about what happened with his younger brother and used it against him. Every
John is
day while
cooking.
babysitting the crying child, Michael would put on a foxy mask, hide somewhere in the house, and jump scare his little brother.
Oh, I don't like this. You better spook me in real life. Ugh, stop. I don't think there's a child in FNAF who doesn't have trauma. Fair. Bud lives rent-free in his head.
From the pizzeria to your living room, you no longer have to wait to sing
Oh,
and dance
don't always
with
mess with
Fredbear
me.
and Fright. Weeknights at 8, 7 Central.
This is
Only
so
on-
freaking cute. No, let me watch Fredbear and Friends. This isn't fun. Nervous, don't look behind you. You got it, I won't. You got me on, you get chills. I got chills, man. Man, turn it off, I'm spooked. This is so good. Ah, Jesus Christ. I knew it was gonna get me. I was sad the whole time. I was like, man, it is still gonna scare me though. I knew he was under the bed and everything. And everything. It just doesn't matter. I'm a jumpy girl. All right, let me go back. I want us to all see what he look like. Hello? Take me back. You jumped too. See? It's not just me. It's not just me. Come on, take me back. Why is it black for so long? It should not be taking this long. I don't think it's actually taking me back a frame. I don't think it's doing it. I don't think it's actually taking me back a frame. I'm gonna have to go back 10 seconds. We're gonna see it again. We're gonna see it again. We're gonna see it again. There he is. There he is. Spooky. Look, he got me. That's what got me right there. All right.
Through all of Michael's bullying, the crying child's
And here's it. I don't know if he's gonna say this later, but the other thing I liked. Exactly. Mike, you a-hole. So true. What was I gonna say? The way he scares him in this, especially using that cutscene, like, obviously that's not how it plays out. That's not exactly that. We don't know that that's exactly how it plays out, but the idea in my head, this is where I'm at, okay? That after Crying Child does die, he haunts Michael. And Michael gets these nightmares that resemble the way he treated his brother. Like like Crying Child's fears became Michael's fears through the haunting. Does that make sense? So it's like inherited in the other direction than we would normally imagine inheritance going. So yeah, Crying Child dies, and then all those memories of Crying Child getting scared by his brother kind of get absorbed into Michael himself when he's having nightmares. That's kind of like the way that I see that. Because I do believe Crying Child communicates with Michael after dying. Like, I think that's just kind of like a thing. And you can call it Shatter Victim. Or you can just call it the way ghosts are able to travel, and we see it in the FNAF movie, that kind of energy. That's where I'm at. Foxy's jump scares in FNAF 1 and 2 mirror Mike's TV and bed jump scares, which is a possible nod. True. Ooh, Owl Hatch, I like that. No, it's trauma. Sorry about that. I felt it coming for a long time. Like a version of agony. Yes. Passed down agony. Yes. Absolutely. Can we call it Mike trauma? Yeah, we can. All right. Sorry. We're 9 minutes in. I don't know if we're going to finish this theory on this video, but this is going to be fun. Follow victim, my beloved. All right. Hello?
Imaginary friend Fredbear would comfort him and talk him through the situation.
Thank you,
saying,
Bolt.
You know he is hiding.
Thank you, Claudia.
Again. Be careful.
Thank you, liberal
Tomorrow
animator.
is
Thank you,
another
Mar.
day. Michael wasn't the only one bullying the crying child, though. The local kids in the neighborhood heard about why the crying child was so scared of the pizzeria, even making up fake rumors related to what the crying child thought he saw there. You'd better watch out. I hear they come to life at night. And if you die, they hide your body and never tell anyone. But all of this bullying would come to a head on one special day. The crying child's birthday. Ironically, his birthday party was being held at Fredbear's family diner. Because he was so terrified of being at the pizzeria, he hid under the table, not knowing that Michael and his friends were nearby, planning a prank that would go terribly wrong.
The freaking girl is a troll, for real. I love you, Zeke. He's a good boy.
Make sure you grab your pizza. Fredbear and Spring Bonnie will be performing in 5 minutes.
You guys hear that? That was Matt Pat. Kitty? Where's the kitty? I think it's just Zeke right now. The cats are off somewhere. Are we gonna see the whole thing? Zeke is saying hi. Oh no! Oh, we're getting a POV shot!
Michael and his friends lifted the crying child up to, quote, give Fredbear a big kiss, and Fredbear bit down on him, leaving his body to go limp.
Yo, I just have to say, this one shot from FNAF 4, Dave, no! True. This is genuinely how you thought the film would be? Oh, wow. Yes, it's at the beginning of the video. I go through the credits, but it's also underneath the video if you want to see everything. And I think there's credits at the end of the video, too. But that was really good. Was it the Bite of 87? This clip, though, unironically, I use this clip in, like, almost every single one of my Ding Dang videos. Because they talk a lot about Crying Child, and they talk a lot about Michael. Like a painting on a cave. My pet duck going for his first swim. Oh, no! Sorry. Oh, that's so good, Hocus. I know exactly what you're referencing. I would say so, Ralph. Okay. But I've used this one thing so many times now that every time I put it in a video, I'm like, I feel so awkward because I have to sit there and find the exact part where he bites down on his head, and I just feel like I'm watching a kid die over and over again. Dave's fear of the animatronics is why Golden Freddy doesn't go near others and really just reaches out to people. Ooh. I like the theory. I like it. Adam! Oh my gosh. Okay.
Michael and his friends quickly stopped laughing. Because of Michael's immature behavior, his terrified younger brother paid the ultimate price. Although the crying child was badly hurt, he didn't immediately die. Because of the immense brain damage, he slipped into a coma. After being treated at a hospital, the crying child was taken home so he could be comfortable, surrounded by his only friends, his plushies. In the crying child's final moments, Michael decides to apologize for what he's done, saying, "Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. I'm sorry. After Michael speaks, the crying child's imaginary friend Fredbear, created out of the trauma he experienced, continues doing what it's done the whole time. It comforts him, saying, "You're broken. We are still your friends. Do you still believe that? I'm still here.
my gosh,
I will put you back together." This would be the final thing the crying child hears before he dies. The crying child's spirit would then live on in the Fredbear suit, the thing that took his life. The crying child's death wasn't just an accident. It was directly caused by Michael's recklessness. This is something that Michael could potentially face jail time for, so it needed to be covered up. Since the crying
Jail time? I feel like he'd be tried as a minor. That is such an interesting... I'd never even remotely considered the idea that accidental death by a child would be something he could face jail time for. I don't know about that. There's many Daves in this franchise, so I propose calling CC Davey because it's cute. DSAF reference unintended but not unwelcome. You know what, Mar? I don't mind it. I'm gonna be honest, I don't mind it. Davey is cute. Minor involuntary manslaughter moment. Juvie jail, potato, potato. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Potentially the toasty. You can, just because you, what's crazy is just because you do something that could be catching you a manslaughter charge doesn't necessarily mean that they'll convict you and actually sentence you to prison. I only say this because this is a very strange anecdote, but I know I've met someone, I don't want to say I know this person, but I've met someone who, and I confirmed this by looking it up, whose child was manslaughtered by an 8-year-old. And the 8-year-old did not face any jail time. Super interesting. So.
child was being kept at home, no one else knew that he ended up passing away. So William and Michael ended up burying the crying child's body in the middle of the woods where no one would find him. No tombstone, no...
Okay. I don't think that John is going to go here, but tell me how abso-freaking-lutely hardcore it would be. I've talked about this a little bit on my community tab. If to keep people from thinking crying child died, they built a robot kid. And like that is why robot kid is a thing. Cuz they were like, we need to make a robot kid so people don't think that my kid died. And just trying to fool people into thinking that this kid never died. I just want it to be real so bad. Greg? I don't know. I'm just saying. That's so funny, actually. I'm just saying. I, like... Liberal animator, like, I want to figure out how to make it a real story so bad. But it's just like, oh man, we've got to cover this up. We have to build a robot, kids. Dave now identifies as Gregory. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, Riley, so true. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know, man. It's all so speculative, but it's also what I want so bad for crying child to become a robot kid. It would just make me so happy. So true, Bolt. All right, anyway. Your Honor, Cece just went missing. We cannot find the bedridden coma child.
Flowers, just a pile of dirt, an unmarked grave, and a lifetime's worth of guilt that Michael would have to live with. Shortly after the incident, Fredbear's Family Diner was quickly shut down, and Fredbear was completely wiped from existence. The Fredbear and Friends TV show turned into Freddy and Friends on tour. The Fredbear and Spring Bonnie
I just love how they're like, I don't know, make him darker and give him black clothes instead of purple. I don't know. Is that enough? Just a second. Well, yeah. What if the other kids at the venue are the very same that were killed? If we snitch, we die. Ooh, I like that. It would be cool if Robo Kid CC went on to be Greg White. I'm just saying. It would be a possibility. I get you, Rose. I'm not, like, I feel like Gregory is a real person. Let me just say it. I think Gregory's a real person, but I think there's a possibility that there's a Gregory that is a robot and a Gregory that is a human. Mar, I'm done. William wouldn't want to lose custody of his children. Interesting thought. Spiral, you have made an excellent point. You have made an excellent point. A tall cat that sounds like him. Oh wait, found him. He killed me. I'm done, funny catty. Stop. Oh, Dave was just a phase, Mom. Maybe we could make Fredbear look like a real bear. Make him brown. Oh, man. Ugh, you guys are genuinely hilarious. Okay.
Suits also ended up being moved into the back room of Freddy
Jill
Fazbear's
won't hurt
Pizza,
you, I
mainly
will.
being used as spare suits if one of the Freddy's animatronics broke down. The death of William Afton's youngest son was a pivotal moment in this story, specifically William Afton's story. This was the first domino to fall. A father losing his son is a traumatic situation, and while any other father would take time to grieve, be sad, and properly deal with such a big loss, William Afton took a different route. Afton definitely was upset about his son dying, but it wasn't because he felt bad for his son, it was because it was embarrassing to him. William Afton was a narcissist. He had little to no empathy. All he cared about was work and comparing himself to his business partner, Henry. Henry had a wife, a kid, and a talent for robotics that Afton was utterly jealous of. The death of the crying child sent Afton over the edge, because while Henry's family was still perfect, his was now broken. Henry and William had different ways of taking care of their kids, and while Afton employing his eldest son failed, Henry's security puppet succeeded. Henry's daughter, Charlie, lived on. Afton had a hard time dealing with this feeling of embarrassment. He started becoming an alcoholic, frequently visiting the local...
I never noticed that in this cutscene you can just, like, walk through the
dealing
cars.
with this feeling of embarrassment. He started becoming an alcoholic.
William, you can't walk over people's freaking cars, man. That's crazy. How drunk are you, dude? William! William, get off of the car! William! Ridiculous. So disrespectful. Dude, get it together.
Frequently visiting the local bar called Junior's. One night, though, after drinking a little too much and getting kicked out of the bar, he decided that he was going to settle the score with Henry. Afton, drunk and filled with rage, drove from the bar to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where he knew Charlie was being watched over by Henry's security puppet. Afton planned on risking everything to kill Henry's daughter, Charlie. He didn't care if he got caught, and he didn't care if he went to prison. But when Afton got to Freddy's, he noticed that Charlie was standing outside by herself. It turned out that some bullies were able to trap the security puppet in its box and lock Charlie outside the building, giving Afton the perfect opportunity to kill Charlie outside of the pizzeria.
Me laughing while, like, there's murder happening on screen. I've always liked this. Puppet being first victim, Charlie being first victim, hard for me. It's not, well, okay, there's a world where I can see it, but like, the getting back at Henry for having a perfect family when he doesn't, has always felt the most correct. Murder I can excuse, but walking on cars? I can excuse the murder. But damaging public property? Imagine leaving the bar and there's just 2 boot prints on your car's roof. Oh. Toxic. Oh my gosh. Ah, we all do weird things in grief. Okay. But yeah, I like the idea of Charlie being this sort of like pent up aggression kind of kill. I do like it. Like, well, obviously I don't like it. But narratively satisfying. Bolt, so true. True, Rose. That's just William. There's one thing worse than a murderer. A child. Okay, way back
Puppet was
to
eventually able to escape its box and went looking for Charlie.
Oh God! I did not expect
As
to
Afton
see
sped
animated
away,
Charlie.
the puppet noticed that Charlie was outside in the pouring rain. It then did what it was
Dang, why does she
programmed
look so
to do
angry?
and went to protect her. But as the puppet got closer to Charlie's body, the rain started making it short circuit.
this
It
is
was forced
sad.
to crawl its way over to her until the rain
Aw.
got to be too much, and the puppet shut down right next to Charlie's body. While Charlie and the puppet lay lifeless next to each other, Afton was speeding home, driving right past where he buried his son and the bar he got kicked out of. When Afton got home, he was met with his wife sitting in the living room watching TV.
Hang
got
the
kicked out
frick
of. When
on.
Afton got home,
Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Hold on. Hang on. Shh. I'm cooking a little bit. Hang on. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hang on. I'm gonna figure this out. Okay. It's not as telling as I want it to be. But we've got... Hear me out. Red roof. Friggin' red roof? Eh? I thought this was more of a blue building, but I think I was just remembering the red, or the way it looks all purpley when they've got the light on it. A red roof. I don't know. It's nowhere near as compelling as I thought it was meant to be. But could you imagine? All right, anyway, I'm done. I just kind of got in my head for a second. It was not as cool as I wanted it to be, but I had to look it up. Nervous? Have you always had a giant animatronic bear behind you? Uh-huh. It does look like the Hello Neighbor house. Never mind. Forget what I said. It's the Hello Neighbor house, obviously. Anyway. Could you imagine? I just think it would be so crazy if, like, William bought the house Edwin sold, and, like, that is how they got connected. I don't know.
home, he was met with his wife sitting in the living room watching TV, and Michael in his bedroom. Afton was a drunk and abusive father, and fully blamed Michael for what happened to his youngest son.
Does anybody want to tell me why Michael's hair and skin tone and potentially even eyes changed color? Because, like, adult Michael just doesn't look like kid Michael. Imagine if William was in the van that hit David. I have, like, you have no idea how many times I've thought that, Hocus. Where I'm just like, wonder if William technically killed David, too. He tanned as a child and then untanned. Mike had a fake tan as a teen. Scott's just bad at spriting. All fair. Mike had a long week. He got a haircut. Yeah, haircuts do make you not tan. Coffin switch modeling applications. Oh my gosh. You're probably so right. I think it's just like... He wears wigs and he's very self-conscious. And he wears a mask. Okay, fair enough. I just think that, like, adult Michael... Do we ever see that house in the daylight? No, we only see it in that one scene as far as I'm concerned. I know, Claudia. Isn't that crazy? And he would have a queen in-house, wouldn't he? It could just be an innocent game sprite. So true. I just kind of hate it. I just wish he just looked like himself as a kid if it was going to be... I could go on and talk forever about it. Maybe it's because he was, like, trapped in a basement for years and did a phobia style.
Mrs. Afton tells him to leave Michael alone because he's had a tough day, but Afton doesn't listen. He goes over to Michael's room and pounds on the door, only for the door to be locked. He then makes his way around the house to try and find a way in from the outside, but once he gets to Michael's bedroom window, he notices that it's broken, and Michael was gone. Michael was so upset by what he did to his brother that he would sometimes see visions of Fredbear appear and disappear. Tonight, Fredbear appeared outside his bedroom window, and it almost felt...
We do not see the house in the racing game, Alahatch, but we may when it, like, fully comes out. You know what I mean? I think that would be a really good thing. But I think we only see juniors in the racing game, as far as I remember. Trauma Hermit Mike is my new headcanon.
Felt like his brother was calling out to him from beyond the grave. This would happen frequently, and every time it did, Michael would run to the spot where they buried his younger brother, only to find that nothing had changed. His younger brother was still gone and buried in the ground. Afton knew Michael did this often, saying, "Ran off to that place again. He will be sorry when he gets back." The guilt of killing his younger brother haunted Michael in his real life, but also in his dreams. Michael would constantly have nightmares about the animatronic that took his brother's life. These were the exact same nightmares his younger brother used to have every night, now passed on to him.
See? I was right. Yeah. Okay. There are excuses you can make for the sprites looking objectively very different. I just kind of hate it. That's all. I wish that he just looked the same. Or, you know, similar but older. Hate that. Don't love that. Index, girl, your guess is as good as mine. This is cinematic. Oh, for me, I hate that. That is not cute. That is not cute.
After the death of Charlie, Fazbear Entertainment tried their best at covering it up.
So Michael in this scenario is reliving his brother's nightmare in the gameplay of FNAF 4 as a trauma inception loop. Yes. I like the idea of Vengeful CC that FNAF 4 is CC's vengeful. Oops. Vengeful vengeance to Mike, making Mike relive. See, yo, I have very similar. Oh, Al Hatch, thank you for looking into that. I really like the idea of CC being vengeful spirit. I just like the idea of Crying Child being vengeful spirit. I like the idea of him dying and kind of having this metamorphosis. I just do. I don't have enough evidence to really present it as a solid theory yet, but it's kind of where my head is at. I am just at a place. Imagine his dentist bill.
Fortunately for them and for William, the crime was committed outside, where no one was around to witness it. William was able to get away with everything, while Fazbear Entertainment never spoke of the incident again. The security puppet was quickly moved to the back room of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where the retired Fredbear and Spring Bonnie suits resided. But something was different about the security puppet. Dark tears now appeared on the mask of the animatronic. Dark tears that weren't there before. This is something that Afton quickly noticed the next day when he went into work.
I would hope like anyone would have noticed. I would hope that there was like a plethora of people who noticed. Like, you guys have a puppet is crying now? That's weird. All right, Nightmare Fredbear, time for your daily dinner. Oh my! Phone guy notices the strangeness. Fair enough. Oh, wow, Al Hatch. I mean, I know hair can change. I'm more so talking about how, because it's a game, that it's frustrating. Not that IRL I accuse people of not having the same hair color. Or that they like dyed their hair or something. Everyone that was me, you shouldn't have killed me. So CC had what he was scared of as an imaginary friend, only to become the imaginary friend that scared him. That's very Spiral. I'm seeing some of the issues. I'm seeing some of the head scratching moments of this. Get phone guy on the theorist team.
He'd heard about what happened moments after he sped off. He knew the security puppet was found laying next to Charlie's body. So does that mean Charlie's soul now resided in the puppet? William definitely noticed that the puppet looked different, almost like it was haunted, almost like it was thinking. Other employees would eventually notice the same thing.
Like animals.
I'll be honest, I never liked that puppet thing. It's always thinking, and it can go anywhere.
After realizing the security puppet may be possessed by the spirit of
can
Charlie,
it go anywhere?
Afton went back and looked at the Crying Child's Fredbear plushie, only to find that it also seemed to be haunted. The Crying Child feared for his life every single day, and that plushie was something he was able to cry and pour his agony into. Afton believed that this is what caused the plushie to appear haunted. It wasn't made alive by the spirit of his son, it was made alive by the agony and fear his son poured into it. Afton quickly became obsessed with
okay. I'm listening.
the concept of haunted objects, and more specifically, the power of human emotion. He needed to find out if this is something he could take advantage of. Afton then used all of his money he made from Fredbear's and Freddy Fazbear's Pizza to build a giant underground facility directly under his house. It was here that he would try to recreate what happened with his son, to recreate the fear and agony he experienced. In order to do this, Afton didn't take any chances. He needed to replicate exactly what his son went through every day. In order to do this, Afton built a replica of his house underground, along with his son.
I know, Bolton D, yes. Kind of. I think I kind of like this. The idea that William Afton becomes this more mad scientist. I mean, we know he does anyway, but like even experimenting with the agony and stuff. Got to pivot from Matt's theory on this. I'm on board with some of this. I'm on board with this. I like the idea that Crying Child is Zeke, what are you doing? What are you doing? Zeke, come here. That Crying Child is Golden Freddy, not only because it is what killed him, but as like a shield, a suit of armor. Right? Like, I'm gonna hide behind this thing that was safe to me in one form, but also was this very menacing thing to kind of ward other people away in another way. Yes, Rolf, 100%. Stitch CC Wraith is Afton stitching his son back together. I mean... Alright.
Son's daily walk to Fredbear's family diner. He also built a makeshift bedroom where he could force kids to have the same nightmare every night. Afton would sit in his office watching them on the cameras that could be accessed using the passcode 1983, the year his son got bit. He also kept the Crying Child's Fredbear plushie on the desk as a reminder of what he was trying to replicate.
I love that explanation because I'll tell you what, walkie-talkie Fredbear makes me mad. I understand everybody's so valid for thinking it. I'm not saying there's not evidence to suggest it. I'm not saying any of that mess. But I don't like it. And I never have. I've never liked it. And I never will. What are you talking about, Rolf? What do you mean? I always hate DCI existence unless if it's combined with the experiments and William just threw their bodies in the FNAF 2 building to make everything shut down. Alright.
In the makeshift bedroom, there were dummy animatronics that wheeled down the hallway.
I do 100% believe in all this, though.
But the kids wouldn't see them as just blank dummies on wheels. Afton would pump hallucinogenic gas into the room to get the kids to think that what they were seeing was a monster. These nightmare gas canisters were being stored all throughout his underground facility. And on the bed of this makeshift bedroom was a Freddy plushie, in the hopes that the kids would pour their fear and agony into the plush, like his son did to his plushie. On the other side of the bunker, where Afton recreated the Crying Child's walk to Fredbear's, he placed a bunch of Fredbear plushies all over the place. These Fredbear plushies had walkie-talkies inside of them. This was Afton's way of recreating his son's imaginary friend that would talk to him wherever he went. Afton would speak to...
He's doing the thing. He's doing the thing I was talking about. I feel it. Is he gonna say what I... If FNAF believes the same thing that I believe about Crying Child, I'm gonna lose my marbles. I like this so much. Okay. I don't know how to verbalize how I feel.
Walkie-talkie sitting in his private office. After setting up the bunker, Afton was only missing one more thing: the kids to run these experiments on. He needed a way to kidnap and capture kids without being caught, and he had the perfect way to do it.
Oh, I love this timeline. I love this so far.
The show will begin momentarily. Everyone, please stay in your seats.
Enter Circus Baby and the Funtime animatronics. These robots were specifically built by Afton to capture kids, featuring Circus Baby, Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, and Ballora. They feature advanced technology such as parental tracking, voice mimicking / luring, and storage tanks. Circus Baby, the star of the group, was even able to make ice cream as a way to lure kids to her. Once the kid got too close, a giant claw would reach out, grab them, and lock them in the animatronics storage tank. Some of the board members from Fazbear Entertainment were suspicious of these new animatronics.
She can dance. She can sing.
Yes, what? It does seem like FNAF is saying that the fun times happen before the MCI. What's tea? Ooh, fruit. Cold? You hand me a hot beverage thing.
It was all I had.
What?
That was all I had to put.
No. You're fine. I was just so not expecting it to be cold.
I also have loaded baked potatoes for dinner.
Oh, loaded baked potatoes for dinner.
Is it good?
Oh, it's delicious. Am I allowed to drink it now? Okay. Fruit tea. I'm a lucky girl. Good things come to me. We staying hydrated up in here. It's fruit tea, Darnak. It's cold. It's cold tea. Oh, it looks delicious. I already tasted it, but I had to see what it looks like. Oh man, that's good. Oh, that's good stuff. Yes, it is toxic. Boinging me dwinks. Feeling like simply nailogical right now. All right. Yeah, so that's a pretty big revelation. So FNAF is saying fun times before MCI. Oh, does everybody here? What? Here you go. Have some tea. Hold on. Here you go. Have some tea. Everybody who wants tea. Baked potato tea. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that reminds me of something. What does baked potato tea remind me of something? I'll never remember what. I should not sit here and try to figure that out. But man, it reminds me of something. That's annoying. Oh, it's bringing back like some old ancient memory from my past, and I don't know what it is. We failed, boys. Bean! Claudia, you get it. Oh, man. I'm glad you guys got your slurps in. True, Rolf. True. I'm not against this because the only thing I'm really against around the fun times is that they exist before Crying Child dies. Or, like, that Elizabeth dies before Crying Child. That gets on my nerves. Because the entertainment and rentals location opens up after the MCI Freddy's closed due to how it was a massive success and unfortunate closing. So true, Bolt. Hocus. All right. Let's get back.
She's equipped with a built-in helium tank for inflating balloons right at her fingertips. She can take song requests. She can even dispense ice cream.
With all due respect, those aren't the design choices we were curious about, Mr. Afton.
Afton even...
Just a person, really quick. I think that, theoretically, that is, like, way later. Like, sister location happens later than what John is talking about right now. Does that make sense? Like, this is happening, and sister location and the 4 endos and the inner stuff, like, that happens later. Soup people. I guess Remnant kind of is people soup. A little. Yeah, Rolf. Yeah. Okay.
created a new restaurant for these animatronics called Circus Baby's Pizza World. Elizabeth, William Afton's daughter, was fascinated by Circus Baby. All she wanted to do was play with her, but Afton wouldn't let her.
Daddy, why won't you let me play with her? We let the other children go see her. Why won't you let me go?
He strictly told her to stay away from the animatronic, but one day, she didn't listen. On the opening day of Circus Baby's Pizza World, another domino would fall in Afton's life, and Elizabeth would soon be the victim of his terrible misdeeds.
I can do something special.
I'm with you, Mar.
Did you know that? I can make ice cream, although I only did it once. What a wonderful day, though.
Toxic.
I was in a small room with balloons and a few tables. I would always count the children. I'm not sure why. They usually played together in groups of 2 or 3. There were 4.
I don't know,
then
Spiral.
3,
Maybe it's supposed to
then
be like an
2,
older iteration of her.
Then 1. Time to play.
So true, Darnak. How hard would it have been to program her to not kill Elizabeth?
Ice cream.
Oh, why do we have to see this?
Something happened. happened when there was one. I was no longer myself.
Eyes
There
turn
was
green.
screaming
Eyes turn
for a
green.
moment, but only for a moment.
Eyes turn green.
In an instant,
Dang it!
Elizabeth was
If she'd said like I was no longer myself and her eyes shifted to green. If green eyes do not nom, it's that easy. It's that easy. Dang, there goes the Queen of England. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this. I'm not really gonna talk about. I'm gonna mention this on a Friday, but this is a thing. I was I was reading the Bobby Dots, and like they renamed the Gen 1 Bobby Dots at the end, and they named them after queens, and one of them is named Elizabeth, and I'm like, now why did you do that? Something happened. Yeah, you yoinked my sister. So true. Seijo, very good point. Very good point. All William needed to do was put a green wristband on Elizabeth like it would have been easy. All right, anyway. Ooh, Claudia. I've had this thought before that William actually wanted to turn all of his family members into robots so that none of them would ever die.
grabbed by Circus Baby and thrown into her stomach hatch. The sheer force of her being grabbed and thrown into the robot's storage tank was enough to kill her almost instantly. This is something that William wasn't able to test. That was until his daughter became the test. William Afton now lost another one of his kids, but this time it was all his fault.
So true,
After just one day of being open, Circus Baby's Pizza World was shut down. Afton covered up the incident by telling the public that the restaurant shut down due to gas leaks, but not everyone bought that story. The local newspaper wrote about the incident, saying, in other news, the grand opening of Circus Baby's Pizza World has apparently been canceled due to reported gas leaks in the building. Sources close to the establishment questioned the report, saying that strange activity around the area at night suggests something else is to blame. One local is quoted as saying, "Everything just stopped. There was so much excitement built around this place opening, and then they just stopped talking about it." A tenant from across the street claims to have witnessed a large group of cars surrounding the building during the night, and large pieces of equipment being taken out of the building under tarps. A few weeks later, the building was for sale. There is no comment yet from the local entrepreneur who financed the venture. That local entrepreneur, William Afton, successfully covered up everything. He was able to bring Circus Baby and the Funtime animatronics back down into his bunker, but once he got them there, he noticed something was different about Circus Baby. One distinct feature about Circus Baby was her blue eyes.
I felt the same thing in the past as a person.
Eyes now
there
were
they
green,
are. There
the
they
same
are.
color as Elizabeth's.
Hey, wait a minute.
But what once was blue eyes now were green.
Okay,
the
never
same
mind.
color
I thought they just color shifted the whole image, and I was like, lame. But no, they didn't.
As Elizabeth's. In that moment, he knew that his daughter's soul attached itself to the robot. Her soul lived on in Circus Baby. Afton knew that the way Charlie went on to possess the puppet was sloppy, and it was hard to recreate without getting caught. But what if the kids' bodies were hidden where no one would ever look? What if, just like his daughter, their bodies were stuffed into the animatronics? For Afton, Elizabeth's death quickly went from just another inconvenience to a scientific breakthrough. Afton was one step closer to harnessing the power of life itself. But one successful experiment wasn't enough. Just like the fear experiments he built in the bunker, he needed to replicate exactly what happened. He needed to recreate the accident, and he knew exactly how he was going to do it. Using the Funtime animatronics again wasn't an option. Circus Baby's Pizza World was shut down, and the public was already getting too suspicious of the animatronics. But he didn't need the Funtime animatronics. He was going to run the experiment himself. On June 26, 1985, William Afton made his way to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. There, he would put on the old Spring Bonnie suit from Fredbear's to lure—
Hold on. Just BKZ, but if that's a ghost manifestation, why doesn't that happen to any of the other possessed animatronics? Like, why don't the other possessed animatronics' eyes change color? Because that's such an interesting point. That is such an interesting point. I'm not anti that question. That's a good question, I think. Claudia! Not yet. We're not Totem Mimic yet. We're only halfway through this, and we've been streaming for almost 2 hours.
5 kids into the back room.
Took a swim with my new friend.
Sing it, John.
Didn't care, I jumped right.
This is so messed up.
friend?
Oh,
The water's clear, come swim with me.
we running over dogs with this one. Oh crap, it's getting spooky.
One by one, Afton killed them and stuffed their bodies into the animatronics. Susie was first, being stuffed into Chica. Gabriel went into Freddy, Jeremy into Bonnie, Fritz into Foxy, and then there was Cassidy, who went into Fredbear, aka Golden Freddy. At this point, Afton had no idea that the crying child spirit was in Golden Freddy, so he didn't think twice about shoving Cassidy in there. The way
What do you think? John's vocals for real, girl. I don't just like the question mark. I really don't. I think that makes sense. It's worth asking. The other question is, what does this mean for the graves in Help Wanted 2? Like, everything John's saying right now, there's, as far as I can tell, there's not really a way to say the graves are the death order, or even the reverse death order, the way that John's theory is coming out. So I wonder if he will at least try to say, like, okay, this is what I think the graves are. I know he's talked about it in other theories in the past, like what he really thinks that those graves are, but I don't know. That's an interesting thought. So true, Hocus. Not really fair. Why doesn't Glitchtrap just lonely Freddy into someone else's body? Is he stupid? Yeah, what the what? That's what he says he thinks it is passing on order. The graves in Help 1 and 2 are when the souls passed on. Oh, I will hold on to the graves in Help 1 and 2 are when the souls passed on. I agree with that assessment, Mar. I really, like, I genuinely do. Oh. Release order, Golden Freddy. Oh, you mean, yeah, same thing. Okay, yeah. I thought you meant, like, release, like, when the animatronics came out. In the story. Yeah. I agree with that's when their souls are released order, but I totally understand why it's like... True, Alhatch. Like, I just totally understand where people are coming from when they're like, it's got to be the death order because it's just so, like, you know, right there. But I don't, it's so hard for me to agree with that. The whole idea that Charlie dies last is so confusing to me. Anyway, moving on.
Afton killed Cassidy, though, was different from the rest. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy were just regular animatronics. Afton had no choice but to kill them, then stuff them into the suits. But Golden Freddy wasn't just a regular animatronic, it was a Springlock suit. The same Springlock suit that took his youngest son's life. Afton was aware of how dangerous the Springlocks were. Any bit of moisture or too much movement would cause them to snap shut, slowly killing whoever was inside. So that's exactly what he did to Cassidy. He put him into the suit and watched as the Springlocks snapped shut, cementing Cassidy's death as the most brutal of them all. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden...
That's been my... Okay, so the way... I just want to point out the way that I've theorized about... If we're assuming Cassidy is not the crying child, which I know some people have theorized that Cassidy is the crying child, and I'm not inherently against that. Anyway, the way I have theorized about it is that William had been trying to replicate things by killing the children and stuffing their bodies in the suits. And he tried that over and over again, and it never worked. So he has one more animatronic, and it's a Springlock, and he thinks about the way that, like, well, this is how Elizabeth, you know, she died in the suit like that, not stuffed in afterwards. She died in the suit. And so he's like, I have this one last chance to try to replicate what happened with Elizabeth, and does it with Golden Freddy, knowing it's going to be this, like, mad, painful death. And so that's why that spirit ends up, it very similarly to Elizabeth, becomes a lot more violent post-mortem. Still not on board with Cassidy being the one you should not have killed. It just makes a lot more sense to be Dave or Mike. I think that's super fair, Claudia. Which is also what I really like Dual Process's theory that the crying child himself was put inside of the Golden Freddy suit and spring locked in order to get him to possess that suit. So that's those are just some thoughts I've had.
Freddy weren't the only animatronics sitting in the back room of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, though. They were joined by the security puppet, which contained the soul of Henry's daughter, Charlie. Once Afton was gone, Charlie jumped into action, almost acting as a guide for their souls, properly giving them life inside of each animatronic. After the incident, the kids were quickly reported missing by their families, and although the security cameras caught Afton luring the kids away, he wasn't able to fully get in trouble. Since he was wearing the Spring Bonnie suit, they were never able to prove it was actually him. Afton also hid the kids' bodies where no one would ever look, so the bodies were never found. Unbelievably, Afton was able to get away with yet another crime. Because of all the...
This has nothing to do with what John is saying beyond the fact that we're talking about, like, oh, the cops would never look in the suits. I get it. We have to move the narrative somehow, but it will never stop being the silliest, most ridiculous thing to me to say some absolute nonsense like they would never look inside the suits. Girl, they were oozing blood and pus. Would you look there first? No. Would you look there eventually? Well, I would stinking hope so. They were oozing blood and pus. I don't want to hear any of it. Right, Seijo. Yes, Spiral. The odor. Thank you, Rose. It smelled like dead people. They literally had the health inspectors called. Thank you, Bolton D. It just isn't for me. It's probably some legal jargon. That is where we cut our stinky motor oil. It will never. It will never. You should make a theory on why they really didn't check the suits. Oh, that would be fun. We should, yeah, like some sort of like anti-property seizure law or something. They couldn't get a warrant. I think that's fair, just a person. They didn't have a bath in 20 years. Stop. Dead people juice. Okay, stop. You are so funny. Dead people juice. Oh my gosh, Hocus. Stop. Oh, congratulations on your first super chat. That's a very incredible use for it. Yes, Rose. You know what's funny, Rose, that you say that? There's actually precedent for that in a roundabout way in the animatronic apocalypse. I won't go all into it, but in short, a guy who seems like a William Parallel seems to have gotten to the police. So this kid cannot talk to the police about it because he thinks he's joking. What kind of food is it?
The bad press that came from the missing children's incident, people stopped coming to the pizzeria. After months of customers no longer showing up, Fazbear Entertainment officially shut down Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
We don't know.
Shortly after the pizzeria shut
Afton's
down,
mom
Afton
can be a
decided to
MacGuffin
pull
in any
the Funtime
capacity.
animatronics
Afton's mom,
out of
Afton's
retirement
wife.
and finally
Mike
get
Afton's
his
mom.
underground facility fully operational. He knew he couldn't try opening another Circus Babies restaurant, so he had a new idea.
Hold on, what? Also, Nightmare on and Ultimate Custom Night could be Michael being the one who should not have killed, being an opposite parallel to Puppet. Ooh. Fun stuff. Okay, back up.
Due to the
He couldn't try opening another Circus Babies restaurant, so he had a new idea.
Due to the massive success and even more so the unfortunate closing of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, it was clear that the stage was set, no pun intended, for another contender in children's entertainment. Unlike most entertainment venues, our robotic entertainers are rented out for private parties during the day.
Afton
I like that
opened
blue star.
Circus Babies Entertainment and Rental. This way, he could rent out the Funtime animatronics to local birthday parties, capture kids.
Okay,
and
like,
bring...
tell me why this version of Baby is so much better than what Scott came up with. No offense, Scott. She's everything. She is the moment. Living for my girl. That is a cutie patootie right there. This is everything. This is everything. This is what I want. Okay.
Bring them back to his underground bunker to be experimented on. While Afton was running his rental business, Fazbear Entertainment was determined to try opening another pizzeria. In the summer of 1987, Fazbear Entertainment opened the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, this time with brand new versions of their original characters. These were called the toy animatronics, and they were once again built by Henry. Henry was aware of what happened in 1985, and especially of what happened to his daughter, so he was determined to make sure that never happened again. These new toy animatronics were equipped with facial recognition systems that were linked directly to a criminal database. The security puppet was also brought out of retirement.
Imagine, like, you're just like a low-level drug offender and you've been clean for years, but you're still in the police database and the toy animatronics just, like, bite your face off. Baby got a glow up. Yes.
But instead of working security, it sat quietly in the prize corner. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Golden Freddy, and Spring Bonnie were also moved to the new pizzeria, and it's revealed that these animatronics were mostly used for spare parts.
Oh, right.
By now,
I knew that.
Noticed the older
What's wrong with me?
models sitting in the back room. Those are from the previous location, and we just use them for parts now. The idea at first was to repair them, but they were just
Did they still have the kids in them?
so ugly, you know? And the smell.
This means that the haunted metal of the original Freddy's animatronics was now being put into the toy animatronics, causing the toys to also now be possessed. After Afton got away with the first set of murders, he needed to see if the kids' spirits were possessing the animatronics. In order to see for himself, Afton went back to work at the new pizzeria as a daytime security guard. While Afton was working the day shift,
They didn't even ask me to leave. They just ripped off my arm. I just imagine them getting, like, super violent. Oh, man. Rose, that's so fair. Imagine you shoplifted and Toy Bonnie is just staring daggers at you. That's what I'm saying. Like, Jesus.
Jeremy Fitzgerald was working the night shift. Jeremy worked there for 5 nights, and unfortunately...
Okay. So, oh wait, never mind. I'm an idiot. I'm with you. I'm back with it.
The new pizzeria as a daytime security guard. While Afton was working the day shift, Jeremy Fitzgerald was working the night shift. Jeremy worked there for 5 nights, and unfortunately for him...
Wait a minute. Someone's probably said this years ago. But if the souls of the kids were attached to those OG animatronics and the metal got infused And then the metal of the withers was used for spare parts for the toys. Is that why they're possessed? And maybe DCI doesn't have to happen at all. Theoretically. Like, they're just possessed because they have spare parts from the haunted animatronics in them. And they're just been... And it's, like, messing with them. I'm sure people have, like, said this before. And unfortunately, Jeremy once had weed, so the toys knew. But I just, like, am I crazy saying that? Spreaded possession? Yeah. Like, is that silly? Is that goofy? Or have we debunked that like 15 years ago and I'm just an idiot? Hummus. I don't know, just hi, Goofy Guesty. What a fun name. I'm on the no DCI team. I kind of am too, but like, I can't. I love the spreaded possession theory. Okay, so it's a theory. I mean, obviously it's a theory. Why would I think that I'm like the first person to say anything ever? I think the only thing I'm the first person to say is that Lefty was built before the Funtimes. I'm like, I think I'm alone in the world where I'm like, Henry made Lefty before the Funtimes. True, Italic, true. Toy animatronic will be later scraped, so it is not important. Fair enough. But anyway, I never thought about that before because I just haven't. I don't know. I do not think about the toy animatronics very often. I do not think about FNAF 2 very often, so toy animatronics failing the we listen and we don't judge challenge. So true, Spiral. So true. And my we listen and we don't judge is I think Lefty was built before the Funtimes. Just a person, it's totally okay to like the DCI. What would be the motivation to create Lefty that early in the timeline? Okay, so what my thought process was that Henry was convinced, but I have a whole theory video about it that explains it better, but my theory is that William killed Charlie specifically to get him to help William build the Funtimes. So he's like, you should make an animatronic to like capture the puppet in, and then you can like have you could like, potentially get her back or bring her back to life in some capacity. My theory, my brain is broken right now. No, that's totally fair, Mar. I think my brain is broken. Anyway, at the end of the day, I think it's fair to say that Lefty was not built that early in the timeline, but because we have Carney, hello, King Israel, but because we have Carney so early in the timeline, in the Fall Fest, I was like, oh, what if he was repurposed to try to capture the puppet to, like, get her soul and harness it or whatever, instead of her just being, like, roaming. Yes, what the what? Yes. Anyway, all that to say, I don't care if nobody believes me, and I don't really care if it's true or not. I just think it's fun.
Him because the kids possessing the animatronics were killed by an adult, they were extremely aggressive to any adult they encountered.
They interact with the kids just fine, but when they encounter an adult, they just stare.
Meanwhile, Afton decided to pull the same trick he did at the old Freddy's location, gaining 5 more victims.
Someone used one of the suits. We had a spare.
Fair enough, Bugbird. We'll see how
Afton used the Spring Bonnie suit to pull the same stunt again on 5 more kids. But as he was committing the murders, Charlie from inside...
It's just weird that it's 5 again. Spreaded possession, my beloved. A decent explanation could be that the toys got parts from the Withered, so Mangle was already influenced. Sometime afterwards, William tried to remove the bodies and save them happened.
The puppet.
Yeah, maybe by now William's just crazed and like can't even stop himself from killing. You know what I mean?
Actively.
I'm not anti the toy animatronics. Let me be so clear. I'm not anti them. I just don't think about them that often. I don't have enough. I don't feel confident enough in like my education of them. Didn't the DC have a 6 bloodstain? Oh, I don't know. Ooh, attacking lizard. Oh, like that's his calling card. I'm with it.
Afton
I have an
used
issue with
the
how old the
spring
mimic is.
bodysuit to pull
Same,
the same
Malhatch.
stunt again on 5 more kids. But as he was committing the murders, Charlie from inside the puppet was actively trying to save the kids. She tried enlisting the help of the other animatronics, but it was too late. Afton had already finished what he started. Not only that, him seeing the puppet and Freddy walking around the pizzeria trying to stop him was—
Oh, shit, this is awkward. Look at, I love the idea that he's just like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? What are you doing here? And what are you doing here? Honestly, it would freak me out too, frankly, even if I was up to nothing mischievous, even if I was being completely lawful and normal, this would still absolutely mess me up inside. True, Bolton D. Oh. Prolonged eye contact. Prolonged eye contact. Prolonged eye contact. Prolonged eye... Okay, I'm sorry.
all the proof he needed that his experiments were successful.
Fancy
the
seeing
kids
you
who
guys
got into
here.
the original suits were haunting the animatronics.
What's an animatronic
but
like
there
you
was one problem.
doing in a
Afton
diner like
knew
this?
that the haunted metal of the endoskeletons was the key to everything, but the animatronics were trapped at the pizzeria. There was no way he could bring them back to his underground bunker. He couldn't get to the animatronics if the pizzeria was still open and active, so he needed to find a way to make sure the pizzeria shuts down and fast. Instead of stuffing the new set of victims into the toy animatronics, he decided to leave the kids out in plain sight, scattered throughout the pizzeria. This was a guaranteed way to get the pizzeria shut down. A few hours after Afton committed the murders, Jeremy Fitzgerald showed up for his night shift, unaware of what happened that day.
Hello. What on earth are you doing there? Didn't you get the memo? The place is closed down, at least for a while. Listen, just finish your shift. It's safer than trying to leave in the middle of the night. We have one more event scheduled for tomorrow, a birthday. You'll be on day shift. Wear your uniform. Stay close to the animatronics and make sure they don't hurt anyone, okay?
The next day, during Jeremy's day shift, one of the animatronics bit him in the head. This was infamously known.
I love how he's like, I don't know. I don't know who did it. This timeline does not solve that. Freddy in the Save Them was actually Henry wearing Fredbear, and he got knocked out and framed William after that mini game. Framed by William, not framed William.
As the bite of 87. Meanwhile, Afton successfully got the pizzeria shut down. The local newspaper wrote that. Meanwhile, Afton
God, we gotta stop trying.
Successfully got the pizzeria shut down. The local newspaper wrote about the incident, saying, after being open only a few short weeks, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is closing its doors. The new animatronics will be scrapped due to possible malfunctions. However, the original characters are being kept in hopes of a possible reorganization of the company. Since the toy animatronics were now being scrapped, he knew he could get away with taking their endoskeletons. But he also knew that he couldn't risk showing his face.
Attacking lizard, I think that's really valid. That's a good question. Why would they have a birthday party there? It would have to be some really messed up reason. Oh, Claudia, I am so with you there. Have you guys seen that theory video by Cosmo? Hi, Henry V. I don't know who that, I don't know who that is. Ma, there's too many people to know. But no, I haven't seen it. Henry got humiliated by a furry. Yeah, Blue Star. I'm with you there. I think that, yeah, there's some holes to be poked here. There's some holes to be poked here.
at the
Depends on whose
pizzeria
birthday
again,
it
so he
is.
got his oldest son Michael to do the work for him. William was easily able to
Why
get
did his
so he
face look
got
so
his oldest son
creepy? Look, they like did his face upside down. He looks like a dinosaur.
Michael to do the work for him. William was easily able to get Michael to do whatever he wanted. William was abusive and manipulative, while Michael was haunted by the guilt of what he did to his younger brother. Because of this, Michael basically acted as William's puppet. Michael showed up for the night shift
Oh my gosh,
at the now
Spyro, like he
closed
could have
Freddy
just been
Fazbear's
that really,
Pizza
though.
under a code name, Fritz Smith. At the end of his shift, he would successfully steal the toy animatronics endoskeletons for his father, causing him to get fired his first day on the job due to tampering with the animatronics. As it said in the local newspaper, while Fazbear Entertainment scrapped the toy animatronics,
Crazy, like just to say, Mike, God bless. I feel like Michael is the only person who is allowed to like get fired from Fazbear Entertainment. Like everybody else, I swear to God, dies. You know what I mean? Like they do not get to just quit or get fired. Those fools are killed. You love this timeline, man with a plan? I'm enjoying it so far. Ooh, Joshua, thank you for the $5. Always thought the 8-bit scenes were animatronic memories, so not concurrent with the games they appear in. Yeah, I do. Somebody else I know. Ooh, Henry V. Okay. I'll check it out. I'll try really hard to remember, but I'll check it out. Oh my, been sitting for too long. Remember everyone, Michael is a smelly, smelly man. Okay. Yes, Joshua Everett, though, just to go back to what you're saying real quick. I've seen somebody else talk about how the mini games are like the spirits like communicating with us, with people outside to try to tell them what happened. And I really, really like that. So thank you for pointing it out. Because I would have to agree. All staff ended up on a farm somewhere.
animatronics. As it said in the local newspaper, while Fazbear Entertainment scrapped the toy animatronics, the original Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy were going to be fixed up and reused. And that's exactly what they did. After the 1987 Freddy's location shut down, they opened yet another location, this time using the exact same building
I'm
as
gonna go back and try again. We get through the video so well up until this point.
reused. And that's exactly what they did. After the 1987 Freddy's location shut down, they opened yet another location, this time using the exact same building as the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. As you can imagine, this didn't work out great for the business. People already had a bad impression of Fazbear Entertainment, so using the same building that the original murder took place in didn't help business. Customers barely showed up to the new pizzeria, leading it to shut down by the end of 1993. Although this was bad news for Fazbear Entertainment, this was great news for William Afton. Afton was able to acquire the endos of the toy animatronics, but that wasn't enough. He needed all of the haunted endoskeletons, especially the ones in the original animatronics. Once the pizzeria shut down, Afton came up with the plan to steal the endos from the animatronics. Each pizzeria was designed with something called a safe room.
As always, if there is ever an emergency, please go to the designated safe room. Every location is built with one extra room that is not included in the digital map layouts programmed into the animatronics or security system. This room is hidden to customers, invisible to animatronics, and is always off camera.
This room was hidden from guests and
that seems really safe. I'm sure if you get stuck in there, the authorities are going to be able to get to you real quickly. So John believes FNAF 1 location was the same building as the 1985 location. Seems so. Which I think makes sense. The buffering snake game. Oh, I do! Freddy's is so haunted it buffers the video. So true.
Invisible to the animatronics. Afton would use this to his advantage, luring each of the animatronics to the safe room and dismantling them one by one. The kids possessing these animatronics were the same kids he lured into the back room all those years ago. He planned to use the same trick to lure the same kids all over again.
Hi, Cupcake. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Is he not touching the ground? Am I stupid? About 40 minutes in, we've got 20 minutes left.
Once he finished dismantling each animatronic and stealing their endoskeleton, he brought them down to his underground bunker, where he would melt them all down into one
got that
liquid
Freddy's unboxing
substance
video.
called Remnant. Not only did Afton rob these
Thank
kids
you,
of their
Hocus, for the
lives, he would use their
£2.
souls long after they're gone for his own personal gain.
We're getting into the musical sequence? Oh, this is messed up. Oh, that's messed up. Ugh. Oh, that's messed up. Oh my gosh. Oh my heavens. Oh, that's emotional. Oh, I don't. Oh. The implications. Oh, stop. Stop showing it. We know. Oh my goodness. I think there is an unofficial FNAF musical on YouTube. Jeez Louise. Well, they just went as dark as they possibly could think of, huh? Golly, it would have been, the only thing that would have been worse is like actually seeing the kids in
By
the lava.
melting down the endos,
Jeez.
he successfully created Remnant. This substance, containing the spirits of all of the missing children, was silver in color, and if kept at the right temperature, was malleable. Afton didn't want to risk testing the Remnant on himself, so he injected it into the Funtime animatronics. Once
like
he
the
did,
books.
the animatronics jumped to life. The experiment had worked. William Afton
Jeez
unlocked the
Louise.
power of life itself. After
True
his successful
goaltending.
experiment, he went back to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza to collect his old Spring Bonnie suit. But once he got there, he
No
was met with the
Cassidy?
spirits of the 5 missing
So no
children,
Cassidy?
trapping him inside the safe room. Cassidy, the spirit inside Golden Freddy, chased Afton around the room and forced him
Oh, this
to
is
get
cute.
into the
This is a
Spring
cute
Bonnie suit.
visualization.
Cassidy was the most vengeful spirit of them all. Being spring-locked in the Fredbear suit was a painful and slow death, and he wanted to make sure that Afton knew what that felt like. At this point, Afton knew how a spirit could live on. As long as he was inside the suit, he knew he'd be back.
Oh! Let me see it. Show it to us. Oh, they chickened out. They chickened out. Sorry about that. This truly was an alchemist's fantasy. That's right, what the what.
As Afton laughed, the spring locks snapped shut, forcing him to go through what Cassidy went through. This was an act of revenge by Cassidy, and
I'd
it
have to
wouldn't be
agree.
the last. Afton was now confined to the safe room of the now shut down Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and because of this, everything in his underground bunker was left abandoned. But even with Afton gone, the rental business continued on its own. All of the Funtime animatronics containing the spirits of the missing children and even
So
his
true.
daughter Elizabeth were still being
RTP
rented
audio.
out during the day and then brought right back down to the bunker. All the spirits wanted to do was escape,
Thank you,
but they
Al
were
Hatch. This is
always
cat
put back
hair.
underground. After Afton went missing, his eldest son Michael, who's been blindly helping his father, remembered what his father told him if he ever went missing. If William wasn't there to finish his work, Michael would do it for him. Afton's underground facility was
Michael.
always off limits to Michael, but since he was now gone, Michael had no choice. Elizabeth was...
Do the Funtimes have personalities due to having Mimic 1, the spirits, or Williams' unadvanced technology? That's a good point. I love you, Michael. Please have some self-respect. So true. Yeah. I don't think the Mimic is involved in this, personally. I think the Mimic is something that happens and then, like, it's just brought back way later in the timeline.
A plan of her own, a plan to escape the bunker using Michael's body. Elizabeth was no longer the person Michael remembered her as. She was entirely devoted to her father and would do anything to make him proud of her. At the end of the week, all of the Funtime animatronics endos were scooped out, with all of them combining into one animatronic called Ennard. This creature, containing the spirits of the missing kids and Elizabeth, knew they wouldn't be able to escape the bunker looking like an animatronic. They needed a human body to walk around in.
I know, so true, Bolt.
Funtime Foxy has already been here today. Funtime Freddy has already been here today. Laura has already been here today.
Baby's so
Circus
creepy, dude.
Baby has already been here today.
Oh, I don't like this.
I've been out before, but they always put me back. They always put us back inside. There's nowhere for us to hide here. There is nowhere to go when we look like this. But if we looked like you, then we could hide. If we looked like you, then we would have somewhere to go. The scooper only hurts for a moment.
Michael Afton's insides got scooped out and replaced
I understand
by
what you're
Ennard,
saying,
helping all of the
attacking
souls to
lizard.
escape the facility.
think
With every
I do
passing day
understand what
after
you're
this
saying.
happened, Michael looked more and more like a walking zombie. His skin was starting to turn purple, and people started to notice. Michael's body was no longer a good disguise for Ennard, so Ennard ejected itself from Michael. But because the scooper
What do
was
you think
also a
happened, just
remnant
BKZ?
injector, when Michael Afton was scooped, he was also injected with Remnant. The Remnant made it so even after Ennard was gone, he was still able to survive. With Michael now back in full control of his body, he had an...
I like this more than the idea that Michael came back just because he was so vengeful that he did. I think that this makes more sense to me. Sorry, I'm starting to get like eye fatigue or whatever. Like I'm just starting to get fatigued. But we've only got 15 minutes left, so. Baby lied. The scooper hurt a lot. I know, Rose. Why did he was like barely a part of the game.
new mission. Although he did, one way or another, successfully free his sister from the underground facility, he also learned about all of his father's terrible misdeeds. His loyalty to his father turned to disgust. It was time for him to end all of this.
Father, it's me, Michael. I did it. I found it. It was right where you said it would be. They were all there. They didn't recognize me at first, but then...
This is my favorite
they
FNAF song.
thought I was you. And I found her. I put her back together, just like you asked me to. She's free
Agree,
now,
Mar.
but something is wrong with me. I should be dead, but I'm not. I've been living in shadows. There is only one thing left for me to do now. I'm going to come find you. I'm going to come find you.
Michael would spend years searching for his father with no luck, until a new ad in the local newspaper caught his attention. Someone decided to open something called Fazbear's Fright, the horror attraction. Local amusement park is getting ready to scare your socks off with a new attraction based on the unsolved mysteries of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Featuring actual relics from the decades-old pizzeria, this new attraction is guaranteed to bring back your childhood in the worst possible way. As if using the crimes of his father to make a profit wasn't bad enough, they also went back to the old pizzerias and collected any objects they could find to put on display at the attraction. Michael immediately applied for the job of the security guard with the sole intention of burning the place to the ground. When he got there, he saw the remnants of his past. The shells of all of the animatronics, missing every single one of their endoskeletons. He knew they could only find the shells of the animatronics because he and his father stole their endoskeletons all those years ago, leaving only the shells behind. On day 2 of working at the attraction, he got word that they found a real animatronic.
Interesting, just because he...
We found one. A real one.
This real animatronic ended up being his father, still inside the Spring Bonnie suit he died in.
I hate it when they find my dad.
Even though his father was now in the building with him, he still decided to go through on his plan, all in an effort to end his father once and for all. Michael then rigged the wiring in the building to catch fire, burning the horror attraction to the ground with his father
the fire
inside.
arc. That's right, what the what? Mark, so fair. Oh my gosh.
The local newspaper would write about the fire, saying a new local...
Who is this little freak? Who in the heck are you? Chibi Freddy.
Attraction based on an ancient pizzeria chain burned down overnight. Authorities have not ruled out foul play, but at the moment it seems to have been caused by faulty wiring.
Sorry.
Although the fire destroyed most of everything in the building, William, miraculously, was able to survive. William was now free, roaming outside...
I feel like the remnant healing properties is got to be like the only way that Springtrap was able to survive all that mess.
World, along with the souls of the missing children, Elizabeth, and Charlie inside the puppet. Since Michael wasn't able to end everything, someone else needed to step in. That someone was Henry Emily. Afton's old business partner and father of Charlie heard about the fire at Fazbear's Fright, along with the rumors of the various animatronic creatures plan. One until Henry stepped in.
You played right into our hands. Did you really think that this job just fell out of the sky for you? No. This was a gift for us. You
God,
gathered
she is
them all
such a
together
freak.
in one place, just like he asked you to.
Just
all
like
of
he
those
asked you
little
to.
souls in one place, just for us. A gift. Now we can do what we were created to do and be complete. I will make you proud, Daddy. Watch. Listen. And be full.
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth, if you still even remember that name. But I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You are not here to receive a gift, nor have you been called here by the individual you assume, although you have indeed been called.
Wow, so we just don't talk about
You have all
Edwin
been
at
called
all,
here.
huh?
Into a labyrinth of sounds and smells, misdirection and misfortune. A labyrinth with no exit, a maze with no prize. You don't even realize that you are trapped.
He's showing Lefty
Your
in there,
lust for
though.
blood has driven you in endless circles, chasing the cries of children in some unseen chamber, always seeming so near, yet somehow out of reach. But you will never find them. None of you will. This is where your story ends. And to you, my brave volunteer, who somehow found this job listing not intended for you. Although there was a way out planned for you, I have a feeling that's not what you want. I have a feeling that you are right where you want to be.
I'm gonna let you
I am
finish,
remaining
Elizabeth,
as well.
but first.
I am nearby. This place will not be remembered, and the memory of everything that started this can finally begin to fade away.
Yeah,
as the
Rose, I would
agony
say
of
so.
Every tragedy should. And to you monsters trapped in the corridors, be still and give up
But
your
it's also been a
spirit.
long time, I think,
They don't
since
belong to
Elizabeth
you.
died and
For most of
Michael
you,
actually
I
went
believe
down there,
there
so
is
she just
peace
has the
and
voice of a
perhaps
child,
more
but,
waiting for you after the
you know,
smoke
she's
clears.
been dead for
Although
so
for
long, she's
one of
kind of
you,
more matured in
the
that.
darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow
Respect.
you whole. So don't keep the devil waiting, old friend.
Yeah.
My daughter, if you can hear me, I knew you would return as
wrecked.
well. It's in your nature to protect the innocent.
Oh.
I'm sorry that on
Oh,
that
it shows
day,
her getting out.
It's in your nature to
Look
protect
at that.
the innocent.
Oh, what's going on over here? Oh, it's showing her got out.
I'm sorry that on that day, the day you were shut out and left to die,
Oh,
no
never
one
mind.
was there to lift you up into
I was
their
wrong.
arms the way you lifted
I messed
others
it up.
into yours.
I mixed it up.
And then what became of you?
She stayed.
I should have known you wouldn't be content to disappear. Not my daughter. I couldn't save you then. So let me save you now. It's time to rest for you and for those you have carried in your arms. This ends, for all of us, in communication.
Henry putting fire to the animatronics may have freed the spirits from the metal of the robots, but some of them still needed
They are a
help
pain in the
actually
butt.
moving on into the afterlife. This help would come from Charlie. She helped guide the spirits into the robots. Now she would help them move on. In the world of Five Nights at Freddy's,
got out
the
of
way a
Lefty,
spirit
yeah.
can move on is by them being put into a happy memory. The memory Charlie chose actually comes from the crying child and the day he got bit.
I don't
Piece
dislike
by
that,
piece,
Mar.
Charlie put
I don't
that
dislike
terrible
that.
shattered memory back together, but this time she would change it into a happy memory. Instead of the crying child getting bit on his birthday, Charlie changed it so that all of the missing kids and Charlie would celebrate him, giving him a giant birthday cake. By changing that terrible memory into a happy one and attaching all of the spirits to it, they were able to successfully pass into the afterlife.
I'm glad he talked about FNAF World. I was really afraid he wasn't going to. Oh, I love this. Yeah, Owl.
Like I said, they were all able to move on, except for one.
Oh, the music. Oh, I love it. Oh. said, I'm gonna haunt you forever, girl.
Cassidy, the most vengeful spirit of them all, wasn't done yet. He decided to attach his soul to Williams, making sure that William was unable to move on. By attaching his spirit to Williams, he was able to trap Afton in an endless loop of death. He made Afton
I thought we were just
relive
gonna lock
every
the
one of
doors.
his terrible misdeeds.
Not
The
honest.
fear experiments, his underground bunker, and the pizzeria where Cassidy was killed. Afton experienced all of this while being attacked
Wow.
and killed over and over again by all of the animatronics from his past. Every time an animatronic would attack him, Cassidy would be there,
I love
reminding
it.
him that the suffering will never end.
We've only just begun. I will never let you leave. I will never let you rest.
Specifically inhabiting the Mediocre Melodies.
He tried to release us, but I'm not gonna let that happen.
Wonder
I
what
will
that's
hold
about.
you here. I will keep you
I feel
here.
like there's
no
gotta be
matter how
some
many
kind of
times
significance.
they burn
A little
us.
bit.
Cassidy knew that Afton didn't deserve the afterlife. He deserved to pay for what he's done for all of eternity.
That's right. Man with a plan.
But if you keep up with the franchise, you know that that's not the end of the story.
I
Like I
know.
said at the beginning of the video, making a FNAF timeline is not easy, no matter what anyone says. In broad strokes, you can explain the basic plot, but once you get down to the motivations and the why of everything, you have to start filling in the blanks yourself. Some people who've helped me fill in the blanks that
No,
I'd
I
like
know,
to
I
shout
know.
out are Right Host for his theory about Cassidy being springlocked in Golden Freddy. I think that makes a lot of sense and is really
Hey!
satisfying for the narrative. Also, I'd like to
agree.
shout out MattPat for his theory about Midnight Motorist. After trying to figure that minigame out for years, I think your explanation makes the most sense. It's important for me to say that no one except for Scott Cawthon himself knows the exact story he was trying to tell. So please
No, Scott Cawthon doesn't know the story he was trying to tell. I don't think he knows anything. I don't even think he knows a crying child's name. I don't think he ever did. I don't think he ever gave him one.
make sure to watch other people's timelines as well and come to your own conclusion.
Yeah, just a
on
person, but that's
everything.
not
and
what,
when the time is right,
but he just
I'll be
kinda
back to
suggested to
tackle the
anybody.
newer games in this franchise. Until then, make sure to subscribe, and thanks for watching.
We're watching the credits, baby. Let me turn this off. Very cool, so you can see everything everybody did. Now we can see exactly what everybody made. Look at this. So cool. What the what exactly? Exactly, Spot. Everybody's in the dark. The story is got its own consciousness at this point. Yo, everybody did such a good job. Look at this! Barbadroid. Okay, so specifically, actually, the things that I liked the most. Snartles did these. Oh, Snartles, you really outdid yourself. Barbadroid did do some of the ones I like, though. Bye, Mar. Thank you for joining. Wow. That was everything and more. I hope that I transformative it enough to justify streaming it. But let me refresh the video to see where we're at. 3 hours in. We've got over 9,000 likes, 40,000 views. Those are rookie numbers. We gotta get those numbers up. We gotta get those numbers up. This was absolutely incredible. I loved every minute. So proud of everyone. Oops. Everyone who worked on this. Way to go. Hold on. Get over here. Superstars. Star emoji. Yep. Thank you all so much for joining me. I probably gotta go oops. I probably gotta go just to finish editing my video because I didn't get to film it until today. Oops. My bad. But you guys, that was incredible. Thank you so much for being here. Add your chat into the thanks. Oh, okay. My chat also says thank you. All my viewers wanted to say thank you too because they loved it. Okay. You were born today. Is it really your birthday? Or are you 1 day old? I mean, that would make it your birthday anyway, I guess, but... Okay. Yeah, again, thank you for joining. Gotta drop the soundtrack. Please go like the video if you haven't liked the video. Comment on it, like, engage with it, share it. Please make sure that gets attention on it because it's so cool. And so many people worked on it. What did we learn from this? No hydraulic should be able to crush a child's head as an idol. So true. Oh, man. That was so cool. Chat gang says include us. Oh. Thank you guys for hanging out. This was so fun. You guys are the coolest. Thanks for following me. But, yeah. I'll leave this up. So if people missed it, they can watch it with me. But I'd really love it if you watched the OG video. Because I don't want to take any views away from John. So... yeah, that's that. Friday, we're going to be talking about the Bobby Dots and the Bobby Dots conclusion. We're going to talk about both stories and all of the implications I believe they have on Friday, 4 o'clock p.m. No stream Friday. If we really want to, I might stream really late Friday night, but just BKZ is officially a member for 6 months. Let's go. How cool is that it happened on this stream? Or you just celebrated it this stream? I'm so glad we got to say it before you get to leave. Oh my gosh. Of course, just because. Thank you for so many months of fun. You too can be a channel member for just $1. They're $1 channel memberships because it's not anything crazy over there, but I shout you out in every video. And I do put bonus content over there. I did a tattoo reveal over there. So if you want to see my tattoo, it's over there. Anyway, I hope that you guys have a great night, weekend, morning, whatever time it is where you are. Oh, I'm so sorry, Hocus. That's so frustrating. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's all right. Y'all are seriously awesome. And you've so much on gift subs. It's so true. I know you earn, like, you should earn, like, honorary months for all the subs you've gifted. All right. And, yeah. So I'll see you on Friday. Well, I'll see you in the comments on Friday. I'm always in the comments talking to people. Owl Hatch. You throwing out stuff like that? Oh, Joshua Everett became a spark! Thank you, Joshua. Thank you so much, Joshua. Oh my gosh, now I feel like I can't. Oh, you guys are great. Throwing stuff out there right at the end there. Ooh, funny catty. You're revealing lore. It's the only thing that can hurt or kill a holder. It is like a parasite, killing and slowly. Ooh, kissed crystals. No, you're breathtaking. Just because he is the goat. For real. We stan. But you guys are all awesome, seriously. And I appreciate all of you. And I hope that you eat, and I hope that you drink water and other hydrating beverages. If you have to add flavoring to your water, I totally understand it. And if you... Oh, of course, just because I just like $1 seems like $1 goes so far. I don't know how else to say it. I did a Sparks Wrapped on my channel. Oh, I will give Toast good scritches. That is the lore of the green crystals. Lore. Nice. Aw, Hocus. I'm glad too. I'm glad to have you in chat. I'm glad to be able to chit chat. All right. I gotta go. I gotta go. All right. You guys are great. You guys are awesome. All right. I gotta go. I have to do it. I have to leave now. All right. I'll just be saying goodbye forever. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Okay, bye.